Hey guys, welcome back to Down the Stretch for the second race day of May, and this is the back-to-back race card. This race day we'll have the Kingston and the Portmore prep races for the Guinness. So let's get right into these tips. Okay, the first race, naturebred 5-year-olds and up, non-runners of 3, and imported 5-year-olds and up, non-runners of 2. A field of 10, they go 6 furlongs. Boil this race down to 4. They're going to be the 1, Always Right, the 5, Charming Sound, the 7, Princess Ifya, and the 9, The Hot Dancer. Always Right, last time out, 6.5 furlongs, was third by 8 lengths to Shuami the Butcher and Cosmic Force, coming from off the pace. Before that, at 7 furlongs. Also coming from way off the pace to finish third by a length and a half to Sweet Victory. So late running start. Anthony Allen claiming 3 kilos here for Michael Marlowe. Poorly drawn at 1, but doesn't really have speed. So if he gets to sit back and the pace comes back, should be coming home fast at the end. The 5, Charming Sound. Jaheim Anderson claiming 4 kilos for Tensan Chung. Last time out at 6.5 furlongs was 7 by 16 lengths to Shuami the Butcher and Cosmic Force. I'm going to throw that race out because just before that, the 29th of March, at 7 furlongs, was a decent 4th by 2.25 lengths to Sweet Victory and Captain Phillips. Also one that tends to come from off the pace and coming in extremely light in this event and working at the exercise, so I think is fairly sound, giving this Charming Sound an outsider's shot to run a good race. The 7, Princess Ifya, Wesley Henry here for Errol Burke. Speed Sort, Will Flash Speed, being a daughter of Buzz Nightmare. Last time out, 4 furlongs straight, was 6 by 7 lengths to Best Daughter-in-Law. Before that, at 5.5 furlongs, was second the entire way, beaten half a length by Aria's Reign, making all the running. This time around, should be right on the lead or with the leader, and with Wesley Henry in the saddle. And looking fit right now, giving Princess Ifya a decent shot at getting early in the pace and causing problems for the favorite. And the 9, The Hot Dancer, should be the anti-post favorite for this event. Richie Shakes claiming 3 kilos here for Fitna Williams, undefeated in 2 starts. Made a 5-year-old debut the 6th of April over the 4 furlong straight to win by 8.25 lengths. Came back on the 12th of April, 5 furlong straight, and was again a very easy winner, winning by 10 lengths from Xylophonic Steel. Stepping on big class here and facing way by more of competition and going around the bend for the first time, but looks very useful and does seem to have a lot of pace and should once again fight this out. If I was going to carry an outsider to throw into my exotics, I think I'd use this horse. That's the 1991 model 9, the 8, Kai on the Go. Romanda Pierre claiming 2 kilos here for Cashbird Coral Singh. Nothing in recent stats, but if you research way back when, even up to December last year, going 7 furlongs, when finishing 8 by 10 lengths to Dimitri P. Superior and Cosmic Force, was only 10 lengths off them there, and a run like that would see him finishing in the frame in this. So that's my long shot to put in the exotics. The second race, 3-year-old maiden special weight, 7 starters. They go 5.5 furlongs, and I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I think it's a 1-horse race. I think I'm giving the edge to the 3, H2O, Robert Halligan for Jason DaCosta. Last time out, all the rage at 2 to 5, going 9 furlongs and 25 yards. Before that race, though, looked a little stiff in the paddock and coming onto the track. Did manage to lead, but was found wanting coming off the turn for home and was beaten 11 lengths into second by Fearless Mission. Reverts to a short quick sprint this time around, and Jason DaCosta has taken off the blinkers. So I'm going to take a chance and give this H2O to get the job done. For trifecta and exacta purposes, I'd probably use 2 other horses for the exacta and trifecta. The 1, Miss Grove, only 3 starts. Last time out was in that 9 furlong and 25 yard race with H2O. Was tracking H2O for most of the race. Still finished third, but finished 5 lengths behind H2O. Might run better over the quick sprint, and we'll see how she performs. And the anti-post favorite Bowmore, Richie Shakes here for Philip Lee. Last time out, was at 5 straight, was 4th by 15 lengths to Incredible Joe. No incredible draw around here. Last time before that at 5.5 was third by 3/4 lengths to Mighty Joe at 5.5 furlongs. So looks to be more of the sprinter type against these. So going to carry me in the exacta or the trifecta spot. The third race, nature bred 4 years and up, nuns of 2 and imported 4 years and up, maiden, fillies and mares only. 10 starters, they go 5 furlongs straight, boil this down to 4. They are the 4 Awesome Line, the 5 Buttercup, the 6 Princess Catalea, and the 8 Speed on Wheels. Okay, Awesome Line. Radish Roman here for Lorenzo Robinson. Last time out at 5 furlongs round was 10th by 8 lengths to Tornado Steel. Before that, over the 4 furlongs straight was 4th by 3 lengths to Irish Wish. Definitely likes the sprint races and runs well over the straight course. And even though drawn to the far side, expecting a good run from this Awesome Line. The 5 Buttercup to Jay Suko claiming 3 kilos here for Richard Azan. Highly thought of filly last year, but obviously has her problems. Hasn't been out since the 17th of August when going a mile and finishing 5th by 8 lengths to Rosetta and Brenda Boy. Titan Tempo was third there after leading. Before that, at 10 furlongs in the Jamaica Oaks, was a good 5th by 5.5 lengths to Banadora and Rosetta. So classic placed. Definitely has some back class here. Has been working at the exercise. Nothing too hard, but is training. So coming in here very sound. And trainer Richard Zan has taken off their visors and has put on the figure 8 and her reintroduction into racing. I'm expecting a good run from this Buttercup over the 5 furlongs straight. The 6 Princess Catalea, Ray and Lewis here for Patrick Lynch, knocking at the door filly. She last time out at a mile was second by a length and a half to Rat Them. Before that at 6 furlongs was second by half a length to Galloping Develos, a very speedy horse coming from off the pace. Reverts to the straight 5 now. Last time over the straight was 4 furlongs straight when finishing 6 by 4 and 3/4 lengths to Irish Wish. So definitely fit right now. And if the pace crumbles in the final furlong, this Princess Catalea will be flying home, now reverting back to sprinting. And the 8, Speed on Wheels, Wesley Henry for Matthew Williams. Last time out over the 4 straight, I'm going to definitely give this horse another chance because this horse came out and had her head whipping all out. She was tugging, rodeo riding. The jockey was like a rodeo rider for the first maybe 5 strides when the field had absolutely left her behind. When he finally got her settled, the field was gone. She did make an effort to catch up with them. And you can see there with a quarter of a mile to go, she caught up to 6 1/4 lengths 7th and still managed to finish 5th, 11 lengths behind Hail the Queen, who made all the running and won by 5 3/4 length. So that means he was only 4 1/4 lengths off a Plum. So in my opinion, I think if a clean start here, Speed on Wheels should finish in front of a Plum. So given that, I give a good shot. Once coming out clean at the start, the Speed on Wheels is one to definitely look at. Superfecta consideration. We're going to throw somebody in for the Superfecta. It's going to be the 10, Chinita Estrella, Philip Fartman here for Stephen Todd. Fit right now, running some useful races. Runs well over the straight. Last time over the straight was 4 furlongs straight, third by 7.5 lengths to Hail the Queen, that same race. And before that, the 29th of March over the 5 furlong straight was second by 6 1/4 lengths to Sonogram, who recently won. So that's my horse that I'd squeeze into the exotics. The 4th race, 3 years and up, optional claiming, 700,000, 600,000, and 6 years and up, knowledge of 4. A field of 10, they go 7.5 furlongs. Also boiling this down to 4. They're going to be the 1, Solar Black, the 2, Lucy in the Sky, the 7, Shibum, and the 9, Great Trick. Okay, Solar Black, Eric Horton claiming 4 kilos here for Lawrence Fremantle. Back-to-back wins on 8th of March, going 9 furlongs and 25 yards. Came from off the pace, 2 win by 3/4 lengths from the General. Then stepping down to claiming ranks, 500,000, going 7 furlongs, came from way off the pace to beat Shaboom. So coming back here, although stepping up at the claiming ladder, is capable amongst these, busy at the exercise, so seems to be very sound and claiming 4 kilos off 125 pounds. If the pace comes back, pretty sure the Solar Black will be running on strong. The horse I think they have to beat, the 2, Lucy in the Sky. Anthony Allen claiming 3 kilos here for Jason DaCosta. Disappointing run and last over 8 furlongs in a non-winners of 3, finishing 10th by 29 lengths to Hotbread Scammer. Before that was 6 by 11 lengths to Blue Sensation. So hasn't been running the best races in the last 5 starts. But if you look back on the 8th of February, going a mile, was a dominant winner, winning by 3¼ lengths over the General and the Pineapple. So I'm thinking she probably just hit her peak in February and has been racing against some much fitter horses. She has worked well. Her last work coming to, before her last run was 6-1, 16-2. She's been cantering since the last run, so I think she's pretty sound. And stepping down the claiming ranks here, I think she's definitely the horse they're going to have to beat. The 7, Shiboom. Tough grey mare. Richie Shakes here for Donovan Plummer. Last time out was second by 9¼ length to Grey Express at this level. Before that, at 500,000 claim, I was second by a length to Solar Black, who's also present. But claiming 3 kilos here and looking very fit right now, giving Shiboom a chance to close up for a piece of the action. And the 9 of horse I think was very unlucky and last. Great Trick. Shane Ellis here for Oral Hayden. On the 19th of April at 500,000 claimers at 7½ furlongs when making a powerful move at the half mile, looking like he was going to surge past front runners. Radish Roman lost his irons and Great Trick ended up faltering and finishing 9th by 21 lengths. So off the basis of that run and with Shane Ellis now in the saddle, I'm definitely giving Great Trick another shot here. The 5th race, 3-year-olds and up, optional claiming, 350 to 250,000, and 6-year-olds and up, numbers of 3. 11 starters, they go 7 furlongs. Boil this down to 4. There are the 2, Nala's Bushman, the 6, Ahmad Ali, the 10, Zion Princess, and the 11, Last Dance. Number 2, Nala's Bushman, Demar Williams, claiming 4 kilos here for Anthony Dixon. Last time out was back in November, 5th by 6¼ lengths. To Simba the Lion, coming from way off the pace. That's how Nala's Bushman runs. He tends to sit way off the pace, and if the pace gets hot early and they tie it up in the stretch, you expect to see this Nala's Bushman running on. So off the strength of the pace that I'm expected here, I'm thinking this Nala's Bushman will be coming home late once again. The 6, Ahmad Ali, Wesley Henry here for Errol Subrati. Last time out was 6 by 19 lengths to Sugar Daddy at 5 furlongs round. Much too short for, I think, Ahmad Ali. Before that at 5½ was way off the pace, came running on to finish 5th by 5¾ lengths to Arias Rain. Stretched out to 7 furlongs now, and even from the head of the scales, is expected to be one of those horses closing late. The 10, the horse I think they're going to have to beat, Zion's Princess, Radish Roman here for Dennis Lee. Last time out at 7½ furlongs was 5th by 6 lengths to Fault Line and Heroine. That was, to me, that was a race that I'm going to throw out. I just didn't like the dynamics of how that race set up. It just didn't feel right. So I will throw that out. But before that, at 7 furlongs, was 5th by 2 lengths to Solo Black and Shiboom. So at 300,000 claimers, this race, I'm thinking that this Zion Princess will start the pace and prove to be the horse they're going to have to beat in the stretch. And the 11, Last Dance, TJ Suko, claiming 3 kilos here for Michael Marlowe. Ultra consistent, has run second twice and 3/3 in the last 5 starts. Last time out at a mile was second to Lion of Ikati. Before that at 6½ furlongs was 3rd by half a length to King Ear. And just before that at 7 furlongs was 3rd by 5¾ lengths to Zion's Princess. Looks like the controlling speed, in my opinion, in this event, this Last Dance, and if allowed to go uncontested with the very useful TJ Suku in the saddle, claiming that 3 kilos, could prove a very tough horse in the stretch. For superfecta and high-five purposes, you want to squeeze an outsider in it, I would probably use the 8, Genealogy. Shane Ellis here for Oral Hayden. Morning line says 25 to 1. Last time out, 10 by 16 lengths to Muscatoon and Last Dance, but before that at 6½ furlongs, prominent throughout the race, finished 5th by 7¾ lengths to Drone Strike, Muscatoon and Last Dance. And after the strength of that performance, and with Shane Ellis opting for the ride here, that's going to be my exotic horse in this event. The 6th race, nature bred 3-year-old maiden special weight fillies, 13 starters, they go 6 furlongs. This looks like it's going to be a very interesting contest. I want to boil this race down to 4 horses. They're going to be the 1, Woogie Waggy Links, the 6, Woman in Love, the 10, Altogether, and the 11, Miss Brayton. Okay, Woogie Waggy Links. 2 starts. Last time out was caught near the finish by Riley J, going 5.5 furlongs. Was disqualified for causing interference early in the event, but did lead. Came to the furlong pole 4.5 lengths clear, and so looks useful and coming back so quick. Ryan Lewis still has the ride from the 1 draw, giving Woogie Waggy Links another shot at running a good race. The 6, Woman in Love, Dick Cardenas for Peter John Passad, scratched on last, the 22nd of March, when it was highly fancied. Before that, on debut, 22nd of February, 5.5 furlongs, was making all the running before tying up in the stretch to finish fourth by 8.5 lengths to Hansa, who went on to win the Thornbird Stakes. Linguist, who has now won 2 races. So that's saying a lot for the chances here of this Woman in Love, who did show speed on debut, working fairly well coming to this. Lasix for the first time, and looks extremely dangerous in this event. The 10, Altogether, the outsider I like in the race. Demar Williams claiming 4 kilos here for Ryan Darby. Last time out, didn't really put in any kind of a punch. Was just going through the motions in that race. Still was making some ground late in the event to finish 6 by 9 3/4 lengths in that same Riley J race. Before that, at 7 furlongs against Khaleesi and Casa Living, went way too fast too early, opened up on the front end, and then came back to a walk in the stretch. So I threw in that race out. But the race that really caught my attention was the 5th of March, going 5.5 furlongs in a race won by I Dream Again. Came out of the gates horribly, was left way behind the field, and still managed to run on to be 4th by 12 lengths. I Dream Again won by 9 lengths, so he finished only 3 lengths off of Giant Vigorous and was only 2 lengths off of Brampton Boy. So off of that strength of that performance, from a clean break here and coming in claiming 4 kilos, I'm giving this Altogether a good shot at a good price. And the 11, Miss Brayton, Jaheim Anderson claiming 4 kilos for Ricardo Brown. Only 2 starts. First start on her debut, the 6th of April at 5 furlongs round. Was early, fell back, and then was running on again in the stretch to finish 3rd by 3 3/4 lengths to Pretty Perfect. Was Starcrest was in front there. Came back on the 21st of April, 5.5 furlongs, ran another good race to be 3rd by 2 3/4 lengths to Riley J and Woogie Waggy Links. Now, they've put on the tongue tie, first time Lasix, and claiming this 4 kilos, expecting another good run here from this Miss Brayton. A horse I like, but I'm going to put it for my exotics. 2 horses I want to put in my exotics would be the 7, Minola, Robert Halliday for Jason DaCosta. Ran pretty well on last for early, going a mile, was very prominent before fading into 7th by 17 lengths. So just the strength of the performance of going early and has worked well with I Dream Again. I'm going to squeeze this one here in my exotic part of the bet. And the 9, one I want to have a close look at, is this Family Feud. Emilia McLean claiming 4 kilos for Winston Morris. Showed up on last and finished 5th by 8.5 lengths in that same Riley J race. Wasn't look like was being asked for much by the rider in that event, and still was making up a lot of ground late in the event. So after the strength of that, going to squeeze this one in the exotic category. The 7 trays, native bred 5 wheels and up, non of 4, and imported 5 wheels and up, non of 3, 10 starters, they go 7 furlongs. Boil this down to 4. There's going to be the 1, Bernard the Quick, the 4, Final Load, the 5, Money Slam, and the 10, Lion Charmer. Okay, Bernard the Quick, TJ Suku claiming 3 kilos here for Errol Sobrati. Coming off a rest since November and ran seasonal debut 21st of April. Had an awkward start, was left way at the back of the field, but still managed to finish 6 by 8.5 lengths to Teflon Don and Immeasurable Joy. In my opinion, much better horses than these. The last win this horse has was at this distance back in August of last year, when winning by 11 lengths from Burning Valor, and she's my hedge fund. who I think have left this class already. So with that run under the belt of this Bernard the Quick, if he gets a good start and is sitting close to the pace, I think would put in a very good run. Second time of asking for the season. The 4, the horse that are going to have to catch, Final Load, Radish Roman here for Winchester McIntosh. Last time out at 5.5 furlongs, which I knew was just way too short for him. Made the running, but was quickly outsped, coming to the top of the lane to finish 5th by 6.5 lengths to Fly Blue Jet and Lion Charmer. But before that, at 7 furlongs, was a clear leader at the furlong pole by 6.5 lengths before She's My Hedge Fund got rolling late to catch him by a short head. This time around, depending on who is going to try to challenge this Final Load and cost themselves the race, if they allowed Final Load to kick off once again, they might not get back. He now has the figure 8 on, so if that helps him anyway, this Final Load definitely going to be the horse you're going to have to beat. Working well coming into this. The 5, Money Slam, Rottamere Weir, claiming 4 kilos here for Patrick Lynch. Last time out over the straight 5. Lackluster performance was 6 by 8 3/4 lengths to Ridgeliner and Lion Charmer. Before that, at 5.5 furlongs, just going through the motions to finish 6 by 9.5 lengths to Fly Blue Jet and Lion Charmer. So nothing in recent times to suggest that this Money Slam has a shot. But if you check back to the 14th of December at 5.5 furlongs when he won by 3 3/4 lengths, he beat Equinox and Kismet. Equinox, as you know, is a very speedy horse, and he chased Equinox from early to get the better of Equinox. 7 furlongs back in December was 4th by 2 3/4 lengths to Dimitri P, Superior and Cosmic Force. A reproduction of that run, sitting from off the pace, would see Money Slam coming home pretty strong. And I'm giving him an outsider's shot in this event. And the 10, Lion Charmer, Robert Halladine, now gets the ride here for Patrick Lynch. Has changed riders very rapidly. And this is making his 4th start in 30 days, this Lion Charmer. So this is tough as nails. But last time out, 5 furlongs straight, was second by a length and 3/4 to Ridgeliner. Before that, 7.5 was second by a length to Tiger Amidat. In my opinion, not the best suited for going middle distances like over 7. But at 7 furlongs, I think does have a very good shot. Definitely probably the fittest horse in the event, if not getting leg weary by now. I'm going to give this Lion Charmer one more shot at getting it right. The 8th race, one of the co-feature of the day, the Kingston native bred 3-year-old stakes race, Colson Geldings only, grade 2, 11 starters, 7.5 furlongs. This is the final prep race for the 2000 Guinness. Won this race down to 4. Then number 2, Runaway Star. Number 3, My Eclipse. Number 10, I Dream Again. And number 11, Mark My Identity. Number 2, Runaway Star. Radish Roman here for Jason DaCosta. 3 starts, 2 wins. Last time out, though, was disqualified from his second win when winning the Prince Consort Stakes. Before that, at 7 furlongs, maiden condition race was an easy 7.25 length winner in 128, beating Benison and Prolific Prince. A very high-strung colt, gives a lot of problems at the starting gate. And if they can get him to settle or get him warmed up and get to that starting gate without giving too many problems here, I think definitely going to be a main factor in this event. The 3, My Eclipse, Eric Horton here for Philip Lee. 4 starts, 1 win, 2/3. Last time out was 8 by 12 lengths at 6.5 furlongs in a probably 2 classes higher than this against Nephew and Gurvano. Before that, at 5.5 furlongs, was 3rd by 5.5 lengths to American Aviator and Rico. Possibly a class above this. So coming back here against local bred 3-year-olds, stretched out 7.5. Last, his only win came at 7 furlongs when beating Mark My Identity and Prince Roy. So reverting back to age group company and local horses, giving this My Eclipse an exceptional shot at pulling this race off. Definitely looks a classic horse in the making. The 10, I Dream Again. Another horse from the Jason DaCosta camp. Robert Halladine here for Jason DaCosta. 2 starts, easy winner on debut at 5.5 furlongs, winning by 9 lengths from Giant Vigorous and Brompton Boy, making all the running. Came back in the Prince Consort Stakes, went to the front, set the pace up, but faltered in the last furlong and a half to finish 4th by 8 lengths. Wasn't embarrassed though, behind Runaway Star. Was going to be much better for that effort here. Expecting to see that one near the lead or on it. They might see a different tactics. They might try to rate this horse because looks to be a very useful horse in the making, this I Dream Again. And I'm expecting a much better run than the last one in this event. And the 11, Mark My Identity. Ryan Lewis here for Enos Brown. Late running colt. Does his running from off the pace. Last time in the Prince Consort Stake at 7 furlongs was 3rd by 6.5 length. That race, they put on the blinkers. I thought that was a mistake. I said it in my tips that I don't think it's a good idea. This horse definitely wants to come from off the pace, but he was just a bit too early for his own good. But still ran well to finish 3rd to Runaway Star and Honor Prince. That race, he kind of looked a little washy before the race. He looked really slim before the race, so it's interesting to see how he has looked coming into this race. But he has now gotten Lasix for the first time. As I said, they've removed the blinkers, so expecting another good run from this Mark My Identity coming from off the pace. And my dark horse in the race, to put in my exotics, is going to be Mr. Lee at a big price. Omar Walker here for Lee Clark. I think this horse is much better than he's running. His one win came back in November when winning by 17 lengths at 7 furlongs from Althea and Bad Girl Chelsea. Last time out though in the Prince Consort Stakes, had a horrible start, came out and looked like he was going to be reluctant to race before the rider got him rolling. That's Walker. He did manage to come close enough to the rest of the field to be only beaten 5th by 8 and 8 lengths. He was only probably 2 lengths off of Mark My Identity at the finish. So that is telling me that this Mr. Lee is a very useful horse, working well coming into the race. But just that he has problems coming out of those gates is why I'm not putting him further on this list, and I'm putting him as an outsider to put in the exotics. Yeah, but the horse I like to win this race, and a very classy looking horse, is the 3, My Eclipse. And that's the horse I'm rooting for to win this race. The 9th and final, the other co-feature, the Portmore. The final prep for the 1,000 Guineas. Native bred 3-year-old stakes, fillies, grade 2, big field of 13, 7.5 furlongs. Very competitive contest. Going to have to boil this race down to 5. They're going to be the 2, Social Aviator, the 3, Burning Hedge, the 5, Danka, the 7, Summer Palace, and the 10, Linguist. Okay, Social Aviator, Robert Halladine here for Jason DaCosta. 3 starts, 2 wins. Defeated on last, 2nd by a length and a half in the Thornbird Stakes at 7 furlongs to a very useful looking Hansa. Social Aviator was a bit too early, in my opinion, in that event. This horse usually comes from off the pace, was very close to the pace this time around, but still ran well enough to only beaten a length and a half. She's working well coming into this, and once again, should have a say in the outcome. The 3, Burning Hedge, beaten favourite in the Thornbird Stakes at 7 furlongs, 4th by 5.25 lengths, was way off the pace and trying to stay on late, but just couldn't get anywhere near the Hansa and Social Aviator. Philip Parchment now gets to ride for Carl Anderson. Working well coming into this. This was the 2-year-old stakes winner last year, and once again, if not get left behind too early or too far back early, will be coming home fast. The 5, Danka, Radish Roman here for Richard Azan. Well, the good thing about Danka now, I had questions about her not changing her lead leg. This time in the Thornbird, she did change her lead leg. So I think problems have been sorted out there in that aspect. Was found wanting though in the last furlong. She came with a run, looked dangerous, but then was outkicked by Hansa and still couldn't get by Social Aviator. Still working well though. Although bred for mainly speed, but she does have a good size on her, this Danka, and could rebound in this event in a big way. The 7, Summer Palace, 2 starts, easy winner on debut when making all the running at 5.5 furlongs. stepped up in class to the Thornbird Stakes and was a no-show there. Didn't show any speed whatsoever in that event. So I think she was just going through the motions there when ridden by Radish Roman. Omar Walker now has the ride here, working with Social Mischief at Exercise. And I think we're going to see a different Summer Palace this time around. This very well-bred daughter of Bold Conquest out of England Rose. England's Rose was the full sister to Shiza Manita. So I think we're going to see a much better run from this Summer Palace at a good price. And the vastly improved Linguist, Dick Cardenas for Anthony Nunes. After a win over the Straight 5 back in March, stepped up in class to the Thornbird Stakes, was prominent early, challenging the leader coming off the turn before tying up to finish 5th by 9.5 lengths to Hansa and Social Aviator. Came back recently on the 27th of April at 6.5 furlongs, start the pace this time around and then powered away for an impressive win by 6.5 lengths. So definitely on the rebound, beating a colt at that, Brahma Bull, in that event. So looking extremely fit and a changed the pass. This well-bred daughter of Avina Malkino out of Bilingual. I think we're going to get another good run from this Linguist. But me personally, if I was going to make a bet in the event, I think Danka, because she changed her lead leg on last, I think I might lean towards this Danka.